It's a wonderful life, not a cloud in the sky. Mr. Cupid just winked his eye, and you walked by. It's a wonderful life.
Our final performance of It's a Wonderful Life, live from WPL. My name is Bill Arrowwood. I am the producer of the show, and I want to thank a couple of folks while we're here. I want to thank, first of all, Ulana, who's in, I can't see her, but she's near the bar. This is her house, and we're bringing live theater to it. I know for a lot of folks it was a curiosity to see what the building looked like, and we're really glad to be able to indulge that curiosity, but we're also really especially proud to be bringing lively arts to the neighborhood and the South Street District. To wit, I want to make sure I thank my boss, Mike Harris, and our friends at the South Street Head House District. He's been very gracious in allowing me time to bring the arts to the neighborhood and to give us donating space and resources towards bringing this production into fruition. I also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Society Hill Playhouse, and Dean Cogan. For those that don't know, we were the last show at the Playhouse before it has been transformed into homes. If you, just like moving home plate and the foul pole from one stadium to the other, a lot of the things you see on the stage, from the curtains to the music stands to a lot of the props we use, are all from the Playhouse. So we're grateful for their support and continuing arts in Philadelphia. We're hoping to make this a consistent show. We will be back in February with a new production. And so if you like this sort of thing, please tell your friends and we'll keep going. A couple of quick notes: if you have cell phones, now's the time. The show takes place in 1945, so we want to make sure it feels like 1945 now the cell phones ring. It is a live radio show. We're recording tonight, so feel free to be lively. When you see this, it means we're on the air. When you see this, so there we go. So that's how that works. So be aware of those things when they're happening. Be sure to tip your waitress. Be sure to have lots of drinks, because that's we're so grateful to be here. One more thing: at intermission, the show runs about 1:20. We'll have about a 10-minute intermission, and then a short second half. At the intermission, we'll be doing a 50-50 raffle. If you read in your Bedford Falls Sentinel, all the proceeds from the show's gate and from the raffle will be going to our friends at Broad Street Ministry. Broad Street Ministry is a faith-based organization that year-round provides not just food, not just shelter, but mail service, legal advice, clothing to our neighbors who are in need. It's not just at Christmas that we need to be looking out for these folks, it's all year round, but as our shows at Christmas, we're making sure that we reach out to them. At this time, all donations that go to Broad Street between now and the end of the year are doubled. So if you're so led, there's information about them in your newspaper. There's also a flyer over there. They're an incredible organization that really does great work for our city, and it is important at this time of year, especially with this show, the connectedness of our neighbors and our community to reach out and understand that. That being said, I've had a tremendous time with this cast and crew. I love them like my family, and I think they're remarkably talented. And so I am thrilled that you get to experience what I get to experience over and over again. I've said it once, I've said it 20 times. Every single rehearsal, every single one, we've laughed and we've cried and we've felt better about ourselves by being together. And I hope that on a bleak midwinter's night, you feel that too. Thank you so much, and enjoy the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shirley, is that you? Can we cut the music for a second? Well, hello, everybody. My name is Evelyn Reed. You probably all know my father, Joe Reed. He's usually the one that makes these kind of announcements. Tonight, however, my father isn't going to be here. He's been in the city with most of the WBL actors and technicians for the award show, as you probably know, which is a wonderful honor for us, really. But, well, we just received a wire saying that the winter storm has forced the entire party off the train, and so they won't be able to make it back in time to perform for all of you. He's asked me to apologize on behalf of all of us here at WVL Radio, and he would like to offer each and every one of you.
Miss Reed! Miss Reed! Miss Reed! Miss Reed! Oh, there you are. Oh! Oh! Hello!
Lee Wright, our resident sound effects technician.
Have you seen this? I'm sorry to interrupt, but have you read this telegram?
Yes, as I was explaining to our guests.
What are we gonna do?
Well, if you keep reading, you'll see that we're going to cancel tonight's live
No,
broadcast.
no. We can't do that.
Well, that is what we are going to do. My father said we should do-
We'd be nuts to cancel. We can't afford. You don't know, do you?
My father said.
Your father said? Your father doesn't know. Jiminy Cricket, Mr. Reed doesn't know.
I'm sorry, ladies and
Why didn't
gentlemen.
anybody tell Mr. Reed? I wanted to tell him, but Lane said, no, don't you tell him. He'll be too upset. We'll get through somehow.
Quiet, listen, there is something you should know.
No, there's something you should know. We're broke.
I know.
We're underwater, out of commission, kaput.
That's right.
We're 100% completely busted.
Completely.
If we cancel tonight's broadcast?
WVL Radio will be off the air tomorrow.
Wait a second. I'm starting to think you know this already.
Oh, good. You got
Well, and Joe?
Well, of course he knows. What do you take him for?
Look, it's just, I thought...
You thought you knuckleheads could somehow turn things around before anybody else found out how bad things were?
Well...
Not chance.
Well, why didn't he say anything?
Well, he thought he could somehow turn things around before you knuckleheads found out how bad things were.
Oh, well, that's just beautiful. Oh, this place is a madhouse, and I've loved every mad, beautiful minute of it, and I don't want to have to shut it down just because of some lousy storm.
Well, nobody does, but that is what's going to happen, unless you have some brilliant plan.
No, I was kind of hoping you might.
Where does that leave us?
On the street. Unless
What?
we don't cancel. We perform the show tonight as scheduled.
But we don't have any actors.
You got me?
You, the sound man?
Well, sure. Why not? Huh? It'll be you and me.
Me?
Hey, oh, don't tell me you aren't dreaming of it too, huh? Evelyn Reed, radio star.
Oh.
You sit behind that desk all day, but I've seen how you mouth the words of the program during the broadcast.
Do you?
Oh, your face lights up. You come alive. You're wonderful.
You've been spying.
Well, maybe sometimes I'm walking by and I just happen to look and maybe sometimes I notice from afar. Look, will you do it or not?
I can't. I'm not.
Mace? Well, Mace, thank heaven, Mace, get in here! What's going on? There's no time to explain.
We're broke.
You told her? She knew. She knew.
I knew.
Okay, read this.
Stuck on train, stop. Stuck in snow, stop. Stuck. Stop. Really, stuck. Stop. Help, stop. Oh! And there's a whole audience here just waiting for a show.
Do you know if anybody else is on their way?
I can hear everything you're saying.
Yes, they can. Did anybody else come with you?
Hi, folks. Hi, welcome.
Who exactly was on that train with Mr. Reed?
Just about everybody.
What about Kitty?
Who?
Job! Who? Oh, right, Kitty. I might have seen her when I was passing her along the road when I was driving past her. And she was walking, and I just saw.
You didn't make her walk through the snow again, did you?
What?
Look.
I was just passing her by. Is all. And she was not in my car at all.
We all know, so there is no point in making her walk in the snow on our account.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, forget it. Okay, look, this will just about do it, okay? It'll be you, me, Maze, and Kitty. We'll all have to pitch in on sound, but we can pull this thing off, all right? Maze, what part do you play?
Bert the cop.
Right.
Now, hold on. Are you telling me that we're going to do this entire show just with 3 people?
4 once Kitty gets here.
Are you out of your mind?
Better than out of a job.
No, this is crazy. I've never done. I only have one crummy role in this script, and I can't do all these roles at a moment's notice.
Look, all things being equal, I would agree with you, but they're not. This is a crisis. No, listen to me, both of you. Now look, I know this sounds crazy. Believe me.
Oh yeah, if you really think about it.
No. You see, you can't think about it. That's the trick. Because if we do,
We'll never make it.
exactly. No, I don't know about you two, but I think this place is worth saving. Miss Reed?
Gee, it would be something if Papa came back and found out we'd pulled through.
Yes, it would. Now, we are almost out of time. In a few minutes, these will start broadcasting live, and the WVL radio ship will be expecting to hear It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, what are we waiting for, Mr. Director?
How about a miracle?
I'll take it, but first, I'd settle for a new cast list. Okay, Evelyn, you can play Mary, and when Kitty gets here, she can take...
Kitty gets here.
When Kitty gets here, she can take Violet, and then you two can divvy up the rest of the women between yourselves, okay? I'll take George. And George Bailey? Yes. And I'll take Harry, too, so... Maze, that means you'll start with Clarence, then you'll take Gower, Billy, Bailey, Bert, Potter, Ernie, maybe a few others as we go along.
See, folks, if you were just listening at home, you'd be missing all this fun.
Oh, wait, Lee, don't forget about the sponsors. You know, they are the ones that pay our bills.
Right, sponsors. I guess we'll just wing it. Do you have a list anywhere?
Oh, no, I think I put it over here.
No, all jokes aside, this is crazy. We can't do all these roles. I can't do this with no notice. I've never touched a soundboard in my whole life.
Right, sound. Well, okay. You've both seen me do this a million times, right? It's pretty simple. You just, let me put it this way. Each of these has a voice of its own, just like an actor, right? So you just match the voice to the need. Here, let me show you. I'll use an old script here. Okay, like this. It was a dark and stormy night. I was working late and dozing at my desk. When suddenly, the telephone rang. It was a client. He was speaking so fast I could hardly make out what he was saying. Finally, he slowed down a little bit, and I got to listening, and he said, "Oh, yes, I am a client, and oh, yes, would you come down to the old mill, and oh, yes, there's trouble immediately." So I said, of course I would. I hung up the phone, I grabbed my coat, and I headed for the door. Now, I had to make it to the train station, so I started walking, and I decided to take a shortcut through Right Hook Alley. Well, I soon learned what gave Right Hook Alley its middle name. Oh, so I fell down hard. That's when I decided not to take a shortcut through Kick in the Head Lane. So I ran down the street towards the train station. When I got to the train station, the train had almost left.
All trains now boarding 444 on time.
So I had to run to catch the train. I ran really fast, and I jumped into the air. Got a lot of hang time. I'm a very good jumper. And I landed on the train just as it left. Finally, the train made it to the old mill. And when it did, it was 2 a.m. There was no one there except me and the crickets. So you see, it's just like that. It's pretty easy. You'll figure it out, and whatever you do, don't touch the monkey.
What happens if you touch the monkey?
Nothing. It's just there for good luck, and we're gonna need it. Okay. All right. How close are we to places?
Where is Kitty?
No, forget Kitty. We need someone who can put us on the air in 40 seconds.
Oh, what about Shirley?
Shirley, the organist?
Well, she's been here longer than any of us.
That's right. Longer than Mr. Reed even, huh? Here's hoping she picked up a few tricks. Hey, do you hear that, Shirley? All right. Okay. Folks, thank you so much for bearing with us.
And remember, this was the easy part.
Thank you, Maze. Now, in just a few seconds, these mics will start broadcasting live over the airwaves, and we need this to sound just like any other broadcast.
Bad chance.
Thank you. Thanks. So, please, just react as you normally would, and if something should go wrong...
Oh, what could go wrong?
Well, we'll just... Well, at least you can say you were here for the final broadcast of the WVL Radio Theater. All right. And now, a Christmas treat from WVL to our loyal listeners.
Oh, I hope it's not a lump of coal.
Don't look now. We are live in 5, 4, 3.
Come on, Shirley.
Come on, Kitty.
The WVL Radio Theater is proud to bring you this following presentation, brought to you by Triad Realty. Hey, Lee, what's all that racket? What's the hubbub, Bob?
Well, you see, Maze, I've got this whole table full of sound effects equipment, and I decided that I want to open up a store for people like me that like to make noise.
Well, that's a horse of a different color for sure. Have you decided where to open up shop?
Well, I was thinking I'd try opening up in Shelbyville or maybe New Haverford. I hear they have a great monorail there.
Why don't you consider South Street?
South Street? Isn't that just a bunch of bars and cheesesteak places down there?
No way! South Street has been the home to the city's independent and unique businesses for over 40 years. It's been the hub of creative shops and is always buzzing. There are bookstores and gift shops, hardware stores, and new boutiques opening there all the time.
Well, maybe, but I wouldn't know where to start to look for a space or a realtor.
Well, you should call my friend, Steve Geniscoli at Triad Realty. Triad Realty has been specializing in leasing and sales of retail and investment properties in and around the South Street corridor for over 30 years. In fact, Steve was one of the founders of the South Street Head House District, so you know that he knows the right space for you.
Well, thanks. I'll give them a call today. Do you know their number?
Sure, I have it right here. I always keep it handy. It's 215-922-7501. That's 215-922-7501. That's Triad Realty, located on South Street in Philadelphia. Their capable staff can help you obtain information of the over 400 business locations in the South Street Head House District. Let their intimate knowledge of the area assist you in making your best decision on your lease or sale. For business or residential, Triad Realty Incorporated is confident in the statement that no one, but no one, is better than us at what we do, where we do it.
Well, thanks. That sounds like something I can get on board with.
Bringing you this broadcast, this and every other week at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to your host, Mr. Lee Wright.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lee Wright, introducing a timeless tale of struggle and triumph, perhaps more pertinent today now than ever. It's A Wonderful Life. And now, tonight's radio drama performed live by over several fine actors. It's Christmas Eve in the little town of Bedford Falls, New York. Night has fallen, and snow is gently covering the city streets. But many lights are still on, and men, women, and children of all ages are waiting in hope and in fear. Not for a mysterious visitor from the North Pole, but for word of their neighbor, their friend, their father, George Bailey.
I owe everything to George Bailey.
Help him, dear father.
Help my son George tonight.
Joseph, Jesus, and Mary, please help my friend, Mr. Bailey.
I love him, dear Lord. Watch over him tonight.
He never thinks about himself, Gord. That's why he's in so much trouble.
Please bring Daddy back.
Help him.
Help my son.
Please help my friend.
He never thinks of himself.
Daddy.
Hear those prayers, Joseph. Someone's in trouble down on Earth.
Yes. A lot of people are asking for help for a man named George Bailey.
George Bailey. Yes, tonight is his crucial night. We'd better send someone down immediately. Whose turn is it?
Oh, that's why I came to see you, sir. It's Clarence's turn again, but he hasn't even got his wings yet.
No, but he's got the faith of a child. Simple. Joseph, send for Clarence.
All right, sir.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Clarence. A man down on Earth needs our help.
Splendid. Is he sick?
Worse, he's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be standing on a bridge, thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh, dear. His life. Then I've only got an hour to dress. What are they wearing now?
You will spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, might I perhaps win my wings?
Well,
I've been waiting for over 200 years now, sir, and people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you got there?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Well, Clarence, you do a good job with George Bailey, and you'll get your wings.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, if you're going to help a man, you need to know something about him.
Of course.
You see that town down there?
Where? I don't see a thing.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't got your wings yet. I'll help you out.
Oh, yes. Yes, I see something now. Yes, boys playing in the snow. This is amazing.
If you ever get your wings, you'll see all by yourself.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, pay attention to that young fellow there.
Come on,
There's your problem, George Bailey.
A boy?
That's him when he was 12 back in 1919. See that frozen lake at the bottom of the hill?
I see it.
Those boys are about to learn a very difficult lesson.
Oh, no.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey. I'm not scared. I bet I go farther than you.
faster!
Don't tell me that lake's not as frozen as solid as they think.
That's right, but watch. Now, look. Help me! Help me! I'm coming, Harry! Take a chain, fellas! A chain! Take my hand out! That's right! Just hold on! Harry, can you reach my hand? You see, Clarence, George saved his brother's life that day, but he caught a bad cold which infected his left ear, cost him his hearing in that ear.
Poor George.
It was several weeks before he could return to his after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore. But it won't take us half a second. Come on. Hi, Mr. Gower.
You're late.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, it looks like your new cigar lighter came in. Gotta make a wish. Wish I had $1 million. Oh, well, someday it'll work.
Oh, does he do that every time?
Shh, Clarence.
You got customer.
Oh, yes, sir. Hello, Mary. Didn't see you sitting there. Oh, and look, it's Violet Vick. Hello, Violet. It's George.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
That's right. George Bailey, only 12 years old, and already working here at Mr. Gower's drugstore. Here, Violet, have a seat by Mary.
Thanks, George. 2 cents worth
was here first.
I'm still thinking.
Oh, brother. 2 cents worth, Violet?
Please, Georgie. I like him. You like every boy. What's wrong with that?
Well, here you are.
Help me down, George.
Help you down? Oh, brother. Well, made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
Okay.
George, is this the ear you can't hear on? George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
Oh, sorry, that's my bad ear. What'd you say? You wanted coconuts on the side?
Oh, I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look at here, from Tahiti, Fiji Islands.
A new magazine. I never saw it before.
Well, of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Oh, I'm going out exploring someday, you watch. Oh, hey, Mary, there's a telegram here. It's already open.
It's not mine.
Well, maybe it's Mr. Gower's. Let me see. We regret to inform you that your son, Robert, died very suddenly this morning of influenza. Stop.
Oh.
Oh, poor Mr. Gower. Excuse me, Mary. Mr. Gower, do you want something? Anything?
No. I'm working. Prescription.
I'll get those capsules, sir. Oh, the powder you used. Mr. Gower, this is...
Take these capsules over to Mrs. Blaine. She's been waiting for them.
Mr. Gower, I think...
Get going! Move it!
Yes, sir.
Oh, Joseph, didn't George see that poor old Mr. Gower had accidentally mixed poison into those pills? This is terrible.
Well, he saw all right, but he's scared. So, George isn't going straight to Mrs. Blaine's. He's stopping in at the Bailey Building and Loan Association to seek his father's advice. Take a look.
Well, what are those 2 men arguing about
No,
then?
just watch.
I'm not crying, Mr. Potter.
Well, Billy, you are begging, and that's a whole lot worse.
And all I'm asking for is 30 days more.
Pop!
Just a minute, son.
Have you ever really put any real pressure for them to pay those mortgages?
I mean, times are bad, Mr. Potter. There are a lot of people that are out of work.
Then foreclose.
But they have children.
Pop, listen!
They're not my children.
But they are somebody's children, Mr. Potter. And you have no family, and you can't begin to spend all the money that you've got.
Well, but so I suppose I should give it to some miserable failures like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me.
He's not a failure.
George?
You're not, Pop. You're the biggest man in town, bigger than him.
All right, son. All right, thanks. I'll talk to you tonight. Here, Billy, you take him.
Uncle Billy, he can't say that about Pop.
Why don't you run along now, George? Shouldn't you be over at the drugstore?
The drugstore. Oh, I never asked Pop what I should do. Oh, but I know what Pop would do anyway. He'd be brave. Sorry, Uncle Billy. I've got to go help Mr. Gower. Mr. Gower! Mr. Gower!
Where's Mrs. Blaine's capsule? She just called on the telephone.
Oh!
Now, don't you know that boy's very sick?
Oh, you hurt my sore ear!
You lazy loafer!
Mr. Gower, you put something bad in those capsules. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower. I know you got that telegram and you're upset.
Give me that pill, Pop.
But just look at the bottle. You took the powder from it. It's poison, I tell you. It's poison. I know you feel bad and...
Poison? Why? Oh, George. I would have killed that boy.
Mr. Gower, I won't ever tell anyone. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul.
Oh, George. George.
That was a brave thing for a little boy to do, Joseph.
Yes, Clarence, but let's move the clock forward now to 1928.
So, George must be graduating from college by this time.
Oh, not yet. You see, it's taken George 4 years to save up enough money for college, so he's been working for his father and Uncle Billy. But this summer, before he finally starts school, he's planning something even more wonderful, a trip around the world.
Hey, George. Have a good trip.
Thanks, Bert. It's too bad you can't come along. I'd like to have a cop on hand just in case.
Yeah, that's all right, George. You just wire me as soon as you spot the bad guys.
Taxi! Taxi!
Hiya, George.
Say, Ernie, how about driving me home?
Sure thing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey.
Hello, Violet. Can I get you 2 cents worth of shoelaces?
You're funny, George.
You look good. That's some dress you got on.
Oh, this old thing? Why, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. So long, fellas.
Yeah, how would you like?
No, not me. I'm leaving this whole town behind.
That's the ticket, George. Plenty of girls on board the cruise ship.
Sure. Jerseys, Longhorns. You save a lot of money working across on a cattle boat.
Well, send us some of them picture postcards, will ya?
Sure. Mine'll be the one signed Moo.
Moo.
I don't understand, Joseph. Where exactly is George going? And on a cattle
Well,
boat?
don't you see? It doesn't matter to George where he goes or how he gets there, so long as it's full of adventure and romance, full of all the things he's dreamed about since he was a little boy reading those National Geographics.
Oh, and now he's finally getting his chance. How wonderful.
Well, now, just watch now, Clarence, just watch.
George, Harry, come down to dinner this minute. Everything's getting cold.
Well, Harry's still dressing for his graduation party, but I wouldn't miss my last meal at the old Bailey boarding house. Hey, Pop, what's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with Potter today.
Oh,
When I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us a little bit.
I wonder what's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's sick in his soul.
if he has one.
He hates everybody that has anything that he can have. And he hates us mostly, I guess.
Hey, Pop. Can I have the car? I'm gonna take over a lot of plates and things.
What plates, Harry?
Oh, Mom, we only need a couple of dozen.
Oh, no, you don't. Not my best Haviland.
Oh, well, let him have the plates, Mother.
You coming over to the high school later, George?
Oh, and then be bored to death?
I couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls, and we're gonna use that new floor of yours, too.
Well, I hope it works.
No gin tonight, son.
Aw, Pop, just a little.
No, son, not one drop.
Boys and girls and music. Why do they need gin?
So long, gang.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
Oh, Harry and I have that all figured out. You see, he'll take my job at the building and loan, work there 4 years like I did, and then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
Maybe you were born older, George.
How's that?
I suppose you've decided what you're going to do when you get out of college.
Oh, well, you know what I've always talked about. Design new buildings, plan modern cities.
Of course, it's just a hope, but you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan.
Oh, now, Pop, I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in a shabby little office. Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark. But this business of nickels and dimes and spending all your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I'd go crazy. Now I want to do something big, something important.
You know, George, I feel that in some small way we are doing something important. Every man wants a roof, and walls, and a fireplace, and we're helping him get that in our shabby little office.
I know, I wish I felt. But most of my friends have already finished college, and I've been hoarding pennies like a miser in order to. Oh, I just feel like if I don't get away, I'd bust. Now you see what I mean, don't you, Pop?
All right. This town is no place for any man unless he's willing to crawl to Potter. And you've got talent, son. You go get yourself an education and then you get out of here.
Hey, Pop, you want a shot? I think you're a great guy. You know, I think I will get dressed and go over to Harry's party.
Have a good time, son.
George Bailey, hey-ha!
Sam Wainwright, hey, how are you? Gee, it's good to see a familiar face. Old college graduate now, huh?
Yeah, that's right, freshman. So you're gonna make it up after all, huh?
Yep, just 4 years late.
Well, enjoy yourself tonight. I'm gonna go see if I can't get into a little bit of trouble. Hee-haw!
Hee-haw! Hey, George, you came to my big party after all. Well, of course I did. Hey, Marty!
Well, listen, you're just in time. You remember my kid sister, Mary?
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah, well, dance with her, will you?
Well, gee, I feel funny enough already with all these kids.
Oh, come on, you give her the thrill of her life. Hey, Mary!
No, come on now, Marty. I don't want to be a wet nurse for... Oh, my.
Oh, Mary, you remember my friend George from class? Well, see ya.
Well, hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you didn't know me.
Well, I don't.
Pass me on the street almost every day.
That was a little girl named Mary Hatch. That wasn't you.
All right, everybody on the floor now for the big Charleston contest. Those on top by the judges will remain on the floor. Let's go!
A contest, huh? I'm not very good at this.
Neither am I.
Okay then, what can we lose?
Harry Bailey, how are you?
Hey, Sam, I just had a crazy idea. You know how last year my brilliant brother George drew up plans to build this very floor on top of the old swimming pool? It rolls back, see, and then you can swim.
Well, sure, I heard about that. So what?
Well, I happen to have the key to the whole contraption, and George and Mary are dancing right over the crack.
Oh, you wouldn't do that to your own brother.
Hey, sure, it'll be terrific. What a going away present.
Here goes nothing.
Hey, Mary, they're cheering us. We must be good.
George, the floor!
The floor? The floor? The floor? The floor? The floor!
Ah, it's moving!
Look out now! Here, take my hand! Whoa! Are you all right, Mary?
I'm all right, just keep dancing.
Did you mean swimming?
Hey, George, brilliant engineering. Hee-haw!
Hey, got it! Come on, everybody in!
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Thank you for walking me home, George.
Well, after what happened, and I think I told Harry I thought I'd be bored to death.
I guess he wanted to send you off in style.
Some send-off, huh? Oh, look at us, sopping wet and wearing someone else's clothes. See, that robe looks good on you.
Oh, George.
Sure. If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will say it. Now say, how old are you anyway?
18.
18? You look a little older without your clothes on. I mean, without a dress. You look older. I mean, younger. You look just...
Watch where you're going. You are standing on my road.
Oh, sorry. There.
Hurry up anyway.
No. Look where we are.
Oh, 326.
I'm gonna throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, I love that old house.
No. You see, you make a wish, and then you try to break some glass. You gotta be a pretty good shot nowadays, too.
Oh, no, George, don't. It's full of romance. I'd like to live in it.
In that old place?
Huh?
I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now watch, right on the second floor there. Hot dog.
Did you wish you had $1 million?
What?
That's what you always used to wish for at Mr. Gower's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Nah, that's a kid's wish, Mary. See, I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet. I'm gonna see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm coming back here, I'm gonna go to college and see what they know.
Oh, that's right. You're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got it. Hey, are you gonna throw a rock? Yeah, that's pretty good. What'd you wish for, Mary?
Buffalo gals,
Won't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. What'd you wish for when you threw that rock?
Oh, no.
What'd you wish?
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. That's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. And then what?
Well, then you can swallow it and it all dissolves, see? The moonbeams shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much?
Yes! Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Well, how's that? You want me to kiss her, huh?
Ah, youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, now hold on. Hey, mister, come on back out here and I'll show you some kissing that'll put hair back on your head. Mary? What are you... Mary? Okay, I give up. Where are you?
Over here, in the hydrangea bushes.
Well, what are you doing in the hydrangea bushes?
You've stepped on my rope again.
Oh, I see. Well, if I have your rope right here, then what are you?
Please give me back my rope.
Now, wait just a minute. This is a very interesting situation.
George, really? Give me my rope.
A man doesn't get in a situation like this every day. Not in Bedford Falls, anyhow.
Shame on you. I'm going to tell your mother on you.
Oh, my mother's way up on the corner there.
I'll call the police.
Oh, they're way downtown. They'd be on my side, too.
I'm going to scream.
Maybe I can sell tickets. No, let's see. Now, the point is, in order to get back this rope, I've got it. I'll make a deal with you, Mary.
There you are, George. Come home quick, your father's had a stroke.
What? Oh, Mary, I'm sorry. Here's your rope back. I've got to go.
Come on, George, hurry.
Oh, George.
Quiet down now, everybody. Mr. Potter is within his rights to suggest dissolving this building alone. But before we vote on it, the executive officers will have to be excused. George, Billy.
It's all right. I have a taxi waiting.
George, before you leave for college, I just wanted to say that whatever the outcome of this vote, you have the deepest thanks of the entire board of directors. If you hadn't given up your trip to Europe to help straighten things out here after your father died, I don't know what we'd have done. And I'm sure the whole board wishes to express its deep sorrow at your loss.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell.
It was Peter Bailey's faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'd say that to the public, Peter Bailey was the building alone.
Oh, that's fine, Potter, coming from you, considering that you probably drove him to his grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman, and that's what killed him. And oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. Now you take this loan here to Ernie Bishop. You know, that fellow that sits around all day on his brains in his taxi. I happen to know that the bank turned down this loan, but he comes in here and we're building him a house worth $5,000. Why?
Well, I handled that, Mr. Potter. You have all the papers there. His salary, his insurance, and I can personally vouch for his character.
He's a friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
You see, if you come shoot pool with some employees here, you can come and borrow money. And what does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas. Now, I say...
Just a minute. Now, hold on, Mr. Potter. And you're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Why, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said, what'd you say just a minute ago? That they had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home? Well, wait? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they... Do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, well, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about...
You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. I know. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want. Just one more thing, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash. I want my motion.
Oh boy, Tilly. George sure shut his big mouth.
Well, you better hurry to the station now, George.
Yeah, while Potter's in there voting us out of business.
Oh, never mind. Easy come, easy go. I can get another job. I'm only 55.
56.
Oh, go on, George. You've already gave up your boat trip. You don't want to miss college, too.
George! They voted Potter down. They want to keep it going. But they've got one condition.
Oh, what's that?
That's the best part of it. They've appointed George here as executive secretary to take his father's place.
No, Uncle Billy.
You can keep him on. You can hire anyone you like.
Dr. Campbell, now let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. I'm going to school, don't you see? This is my last chance. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
But, George, they'll vote with Potter otherwise.
He didn't go, did he?
That's right. Not only that, but he gave his school money to his brother Harry and sent him to college instead. Harry became a football star.
Yes, but what happened to George?
George got 4 years older, waiting for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. But he didn't give up dreaming and planning. Take a look.
Hello, stand clear, track 4, inbound, 515 from New York, all aboard.
Look at these fellas, Uncle Billy. Plenty of jobs around for somebody that likes to travel. Hey, there, Venezuela oil fields, wanted, man with construction experience. Oh, here's the Yukon right here. There she blows. Hey, you know what the 3 most exciting sounds in the world are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served, and dinner is served.
Oh, no. Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistles. Oh, hey, there he is! Old Professor Bailey. Hey, old American! Well, if it isn't old George Geographic Explorer Bailey. Hey, what? No husky dogs, no sled? Hey, Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, nobody ever changes around here.
Oh, am I glad to see you. Hey, come on, let's go. Hey, wait a minute, George. I want you to meet someone.
Hello.
This is Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, I wired you I had a surprise. Meet the wife.
The wife?
Well, how do you do? Congratulations! Ha! Oh, Mary! Congratulations! And why didn't you tell somebody? Now, what's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Oh, it's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh.
Oh, well, Harry's cup just runneth over. Harry, have you got your luggage?
Oh, I almost forgot the bags. Hey, come give me a hand, will ya?
I'll help you, Harry.
Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you. George, that's all Harry ever talks about.
Ruth, what's this about a job?
Oh, well, my father wants to get Harry started in the research business.
Is it a good job?
Oh, yes, very. Not much money, but a good future, you know? Harry's a genius at research. My father fell in love with him.
You did too, huh?
That's right.
Hey, thanks, Uncle Billy. This is all of them. Hey, George, you and Ruth ready?
Billy, you take Ruth on ahead, would you?
Of course, but don't dawdle too long. Your mother's home cooking the fatted calf, and I wouldn't want to be late for the party.
George, now, about that job. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and, well, I won't let you down, George.
Oh, Harry, you've never let me down. It's just... Congratulations on a wonderful job and a wonderful girl.
Oh boy, what a party! Oh, I feel so good I could spit in Potter's eye. I think I will. Where did you say? Oh boy, I better go home. Where's my hat? Where's my...
Here it is.
Where was it?
On your head. You feel all right?
I'm fine, George. Now, which one is mine?
But you're only holding...
Now, well, the middle one.
Thank you, George. Now, George, you be a good lad and point me in the right direction.
All right, you just turn this way.
That way, huh? My wild Irish rose. I'm all right. Sweetest flower that ever grows.
George, are you out here?
Yeah, just sending Billy home, Mother.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you since Harry and Ruth arrived. How do you like her?
She's swell.
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Keep him out of Bedford Falls, anyway.
George, I saw your travel brochures in the garbage just now. Venezuela, the Yukon.
What? Must have just dropped them by mistake.
Oh, it's all right. You don't have to talk to me about it. Did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Uh-huh.
Nice girl, Mary. I better help you find the answers, George. Oh, stop that grunting. Can you give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary?
Sure. Sam Wainwright. Yeah, Sam's crazy about Mary.
Oh, she's not crazy about him.
How do you know? Did she discuss it with you?
Why, she lights up like a firefly whenever you're around. And besides, Sam Wainwright's away in New York, and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war?
I don't know about war.
Mother, you know, I can see right through you. Right to your back collar button. Trying to get rid of me, huh?
Uh-huh. I even brought your hat.
Oh, well, here's your hat, and what's your hurry? All right, Mother. I think I'll go out and find a girl and do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George!
Good night, Mother.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Oh, hello, Violet. What, no date tonight?
He can wait. Where are you going all by yourself?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I thought I knew. I'll probably just end up down at the library.
Oh, George, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things? Don't you ever want a little adventure?
Well, yes. Hey, are you game, Vi? Let's you and May make a night of it, huh? Why not?
Oh, I love it. Georgie, what do we do?
Well, let's go out in the fields and take off our shoes and walk through the grass.
Huh?
Then we can go up to the falls. It's beautiful. beautiful up there in the moonlight, and then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks, and we'll stay up there the whole night, and everybody will be talking, and there'll be a terrific scandal.
George, have you gone crazy? Walk in the grass in my bare feet? Why, it's 10 miles up to Mount Bedford.
Well,
You think just because you... Oh, George!
Okay, just forget about the whole thing.
What are you doing out there, George? Picketing?
What? Oh, hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
And by and by and by. Have you made up your mind?
About what?
About stopping all that pacing and coming inside. Your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
My mother? Well, how did she know?
You didn't tell her?
I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. What do you... Went for a walk, that's all.
Well, are you coming in or aren't you?
Well, I'll come in for a minute, but I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here.
Can I take your hat?
Thanks. Say, where'd you get that dress?
You like it?
It's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York after school like Sam did.
Oh, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and everything. Would you like to sit down?
Well, I was just passing by.
Would you rather leave?
No. No, I don't want to be rude.
Well, then, sit down.
All right.
Walk any girls home in their robes lately?
How's that? Oh. yeah. We, some night.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I guess I'd better.
It was nice about your brother and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No, marriage is all right for Harry and Sam and you.
Mary! Mary! Who's down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You tell him to go right back home and don't leave the house either. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight.
No, but your mother didn't. You know I didn't come here to.
What did you come here for?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one that has all the answers. You tell me.
Why don't you go home?
Well, that's where I am going. I don't know why I came in here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Mary! The telephone! He's waiting!
Hello?
Oh, I forgot my hat.
Hee-haw, hello, Sam. How are you?
Ah, great. Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
Oh, well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
Ah, you mean old Mossback George?
Yes, old Mossback George.
Hee-haw, put him on.
Oh, wait a minute. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George, you idiot!
He does so. He asked for him. Oh, Sam wants to speak to you, George.
What? Hello, Sam.
Yeah, well, a fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your girl. Here's Mary.
No. Wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
I am not!
Anyway, we can both hear, George. Come closer. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. Now, George, you remember that night in Martini's bar when you told me about that you read someplace about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Yeah. So soybeans, yeah.
Well, Dad snapped up the idea, and he's going to build a factory right outside of Rochester.
Rochester? Why Rochester?
Why not? Can you think of anything better?
Why not right here? Now, you remember that old Tool and Machinery Works? You tell your father he can get that for a song and all the labor he wants too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed down.
Hey, that sounds great. I knew you'd come through. Now, here's the point. Have you got any money?
Money? Yeah, well, a little.
Well, now listen, I want you to put every cent you got into our stock, you hear? Now, and George, I might have a job for you. Now, unless that is you are still married to that broken down building and loan. And this is the biggest thing since radio, and I'm letting you in on the ground floor. Oh, Mary. Mary.
Oh, I'm here.
You tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime. You hear? A lifetime.
He says it's a chance of a lifetime.
Now, give me that phone. Now, you listen to me. I don't want any plastics. I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? And I want to do what I want to do, and you're, oh, Mary.
George.
Oh,
George.
Mary.
Oh, that's wonderful, Joseph. They end up together after all. Do they get married? Can we go to the wedding?
Nothing happens at the wedding that concerns us, Clarence. What you need to see occurs as they are leaving the wedding in Ernie's taxi cab for their honeymoon. Look.
Well, I see Ernie driving, but where?
Oh, shh, they're in the back seat. Don't disturb them.
Hey, if you two lovebirds can spare a minute, where are you going on this here now honeymoon?
Well, just look at the kitty, Ernie. Here, come on. Count it, Mary. I still can't believe we've got $2,000 here.
I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
We're gonna shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar.
That does it. Then what?
Well, then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
Oh, that does it. Come here.
Hey, George, don't look now, but there's something funny going on over there at the bank. That's got all the earmarks of a run.
What?
Oh, George, let's not stop.
Just a minute, dear. Pull over up by the building and loan, Ernie.
Please, George.
Uh-oh. And I'll be back in just a minute, Mary. Hello, everybody. Mrs. Thompson, how are you? Charlie, can't you get in? Oh, that's funny. The door's locked. Here, I'll get it. Now, come on in, everybody. Uncle Billy?
George.
Now, what is this, Uncle Billy? A holiday? Now look, folks, just make yourselves at home.
George, could I see you a minute in the office?
What's going on? We've got a mob out there.
This is a pickle, George, a pickle. The bank called our loan.
What? When?
About an hour ago. I had to hand over all our cash.
All of it?
Every cent of it. But it was still less than we owe.
Oh, mackerel.
And then I got scared, George, and I closed the doors and I
all right, just...
Yes? Hello? George, it's Potter.
Hello?
George, there's a rumor about town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. And George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis, and I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close up for a week and then reopen.
He just took over the bank.
I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Now just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay them 50 cents on the dollar.
You never miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're gonna miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you will never reopen. I'll see.
Come on, Uncle Billy. Now, I have some good news for you, folks. Now, I just talked to old man Potter, and he's He's guaranteed cash payments to the bank. They'll reopen next week.
But George, I've got my money here. Did he guarantee this place?
Oh, I didn't even ask him. We don't need Potter over here.
Hey, no hard feelings, George, but I like my money now.
No, but Bert, you're thinking this place all wrong. As if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. The money's in Ed's house, right next to yours, and Mrs. Macklin's house, and 100 others. Why, you're lending them the money to build, and then they're gonna pay it back to you as best they can. Now, what are you gonna do? Foreclose on them?
I got $242 in here, and $242 isn't gonna break anybody.
Okay, Tom, you can have your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Well, now that's what you agreed to when you bought your shares.
Tom, did you get your money?
No.
Well, I did. Old man Potter will pay 50 cents on the dollar for every share you got, in cash.
That does it. I'm going over to Potter's. Better get half than nothing.
No, wait, listen, Tom, everybody listen to me. I beg of you not to do this thing. If Potter gets a hold of this building and loan, there'll never be another decent house built in this town. Joe, you lived in one of his houses, didn't you? Well, have you forgotten what he charged you for that broken down shack? Here, Ed, you remember last year when things weren't going so well and you couldn't make your payments? You didn't lose your house, did you? Do you think Potter would have let you keep it? Can't you understand what's happening here? Potter isn't selling, he's buying. And why? Because we're panicking and he's not. Now, we can get through this thing if we stick together, but we've got to have faith in each other.
Hey, but George, I got doctor bills to pay.
My husband hasn't worked in over a year.
I can't keep and feed my kids on faith.
How much do you need?
Mary, what are you doing?
Just what you said, sticking together and having faith. Here's the kitty.
Oh, bless you, Mary. Hey, I got $2,000. This will tide us over until the bank reopens. All right, Tom, how much do you need?
$242.
No, Tom, just enough to tide you over till the bank reopens next week.
I'll take $242.
All right. There you are.
That'll close my account.
No, your account's still here. That's a loan. Okay, Bert?
Yeah, I got $300 in here, George.
Now, Bert, what'll it take till just next week?
Well, I suppose $20.
Now you're talking. Thanks, Bert. All right, now, Mrs. Thompson.
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind about that. How much do you want?
I guess I can get along with $17.50.
Bless your heart.
Where do I sign?
Now, you don't have to sign anything. I know you'll pay it when you can. All right, who's next?
We're gonna make it, George. They'll never close us up today.
Tilly, you can lock the doors in 3, 2, 1. Bingo! Close time! Look, we've made it, and we're still in business. See? We still got $2 left.
$2.
A toast.
A toast to Papa Dollar and to Mama Dollar.
And if we're gonna stay in business, they'd better start having a family real quick.
I wish they were rabbits.
Oh, I wish they were too. Okay, let's put them in the safe and see what happens. Somebody see who that is, all right?
Hey, George, I figured you could use a few wedding cigars.
What? Ernie? Oh, holy mackerel. Hey, I'm married. Have you seen my wife? Oh, we got a train to catch.
Sorry, George.
Oh, the train's gone, isn't it? Where's Mary?
Hello? George, it's for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone?
Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
No, I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife, Mrs. Bailey. Oh, that's my wife. Mary? Hello. Listen, dear, I'm sorry. What? Come home. What home? 320 Sycamore? Well, that... Whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh?
Never mind, George. Just hop in the cab.
All right, now, Bert, he'll be here any minute. Just get those last 2 broken windows covered over.
Hey, you got 2 more posters?
Just look. Tahiti from one window, Fiji from the other.
Hey, George will love it. Yeah, boy, kids have been throwing rocks at the old Granville house for a long time, Mrs. Bailey. The place hasn't looked this good in years.
Oh, I think I hear them now.
Hey, I'll go meet Ernie in the porch.
Mary? Is that you? What's going on?
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
What? Well, I'll be... Mary, where did you... How did you... Oh,
broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
Darling.
Oh, Joseph, what a lovely romance. I'm glad I brought my handkerchief.
Save your tears for what comes next. You see, even love is sometimes not enough to keep despair from a man's heart.
What? Oh, no, I don't want to hear any more.
If you have any desire to help George, you need to understand him first. The good and the bad.
Oh, well, let's start with the good.
All right. In just 2 years' time, so many people had moved out of Potter's slums and into new houses financed by the Bailey Building and Loan that folks were beginning to call the new properties Bailey Park. Okay, Mr. Martini, you're a new father, an old friend, a bar owner, and now a homeowner. Me, Giuseppe Martini, I own my own house. No more we live like pigs in Potter's Field. Che Maria, siamo di attesa.
Sono arrivo, essere paziente!
Mr. and Mrs. Martini, little Giuseppe.
Oh, wrong! Oh, wrong!
My wife and I are honored to be the first to say, welcome home.
Mrs. Martini, please accept these humble housewarming gifts. Bread, that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle. Mr. Potter, you wanted to see me?
I did. Come on in, George, and have a cigar.
Thank you, Mr. Potter. Why a cigar?
You like it? I'll send you a box.
I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but what exactly did you want to see me about?
Now, that's just what I like so much about you, George. Now, let's get to business. You know just as well as I do that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey Building and Loan. You know also that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it. But I haven't been able to do it. You've stopped me. In fact, you've beaten me, George. And as anybody in this county can tell you, that takes some doing. And take the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones who kept our heads. You saved the building and loan. I saved all the rest.
Yeah, well, most people say you stole all the rest.
Well, the envious ones say that, George. The suckers. Now, I have stated my side very frankly. Now let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, $40 a week.
45.
45. 45. Out of which, after supporting your mother and paying your bills, you're able to keep, say, $10, if you skip. A child or two comes along and you won't even be able to keep the 10. Now, if this was a young man who was just a common, ordinary yokel, I'd say he's doing fine. But George Bailey is no ordinary yokel. He's an intelligent, ambitious young man who hates his job. I dare say you hate the building and loan almost as much as I do. A young man, smartest one in the crowd, mind you, who has to sit by and watch his friends go places because he's trapped, frittering his life away by playing nursemaid to a bunch of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, I want to hire you.
Hire me?
I want you to manage my affairs and run my properties. I'll start you at, say, $20 $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, and a couple of business trips to New York a year, and say, once in a while, maybe Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? You know this is me? You remember me, George Bailey?
Oh, yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has enough brains to climb aboard.
What about the building and loan?
Oh, confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year, starting today. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if it would be possible for you to give me 24 hours to think it over?
Sure. Well, sure, you go talk about it with your wife.
I'd like to do that.
In the meantime, I'll go and draw up the papers. I'm going to show you just what success looks like, son.
Son? No. Wait a minute. I don't have to talk to anybody. No, I know right now the answer is no. No, doggone it! You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. Mary, are you awake?
I'm still awake. Where have you been, George?
Oh, nowhere, just walking. Thinking. Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon, I promised you. Your what?
My baby.
You mean... Mary? Are you on the nest?
George Bailey Lasso Stork.
You mean you... Well, what is it, a boy or a girl?
Mm-hmm.
You've probably already guessed that George never leaves Bedford Falls.
No!
Mary had her baby, though, a boy. Then she had a girl.
Where?
Day after day, she worked away remaking the old Granville house into a home. Night after night, George came back late from the office. Potter was bearing down hard. Then came a war. Every man, woman, and child did all they could to help with the war effort, either fighting bravely in foreign lands like Ernie, Bert, and George's brother Harry, a Navy flyer, to Mary, who had 2 more babies but still found time to run the USO. Even Mr. Potter served as head of the draft board.
Well, yes, but George...
Potter declared him 4F on account of his ear, but George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls. Air raid warden, paper drives, scrap drives. Like everybody else, on VE Day he wept and prayed. On VJ Day he wept and prayed again.
But Joseph, what about today? What happens that gets George into so much trouble?
For that, Clarence, we will have to move ahead to the present. But it takes time to join the living. So, take a moment now to prepare yourself. In just a few minutes, I'll show you everything you need to understand. When our program continues, Clarence will learn of George Bailey's crisis of faith, and he will try his very best to save him. All right, we are off the air. Kitty, Thank you so much for jumping in when you did. Does everyone have everything you need? All right, let's get refreshed and be back in a few seconds.
Kitty, I'm sorry. I had no idea what was going on out here. I mean, are you all right? You made it here okay?
Yeah, it started snowing again pretty hard after you dropped me off, but that's my lot in life, isn't it? But where do you think everybody is? Do you think they're all okay?
Oh, the snowstorm. They couldn't get in.
Oh, it's coming down really hard. After Maze dropped me off, after he passed me on the road, it really started coming down even harder.
Folks, thank you so much for sticking around. Why don't you take advantage of the station break here to stretch your legs, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much.
There you are. How are you feeling?
Oh, manage. How's Kitty?
Well, I mean, she's finally got her legs under her, finally.
Good. And you?
I'm out of breath and I'm covered in sweat, but I have never felt more alive in my entire life.
Of course, it's not over yet.
No, don't worry about me. You just you keep your head on straight and try not to think about how many jobs are on the line.
Sure. Hey, Maze. About earlier, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so hard on you about Kitty. Really, it's...
Lee!
Look, I'm sure the station meister turned off the station break, okay?
I mean, you know, Kitty's not worried about the cat coming out of the bag, but I mean, you know how some fellas can be. I just
all right, Romeo. So last time I played Martini, right? So can you play Nick?
Yeah, I'll play Nick. Yeah. But while we have broached the subject, I couldn't help but notice that you cast yourself right across from the boss's daughter.
What?
Don't you play dumb with me. Don't you? No. I saw it there. No, Mary! I've seen the way that you look at her. I have. Joe's seen it too.
Whoa. Hold on. No fooling around here now. Mr. Reed's seen it?
Of course he has. Everybody has. You know, and I'll bet he's listening right now.
Sure.
And I'll bet he's kicking himself for not giving you a job.
Oh, he's listening. Sure he's listening. Sure as anything. Oh, why'd you have to go and make me nervous?
No, that's nothing. Just wait until I tell you about what Evelyn said to Kitty in the other room over there.
Oh, shh!
We made hot toddies. Extra honey for our throats.
Oh, but don't worry, folks. Not too much whiskey. Romeo?
Oh, you are full of surprises, aren't you? Thanks. All right, you good up there, Shirley? Wonderful. All right, looks like we're back in. Oh, no, we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you, and welcome back to WBL Radio Theater's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. This portion of our program brought to you by our friends at Head House Books.
Evelyn, have you finished your Christmas shopping yet?
Not yet, Kitty, but I have some ideas, and I know where I can find something for almost everyone on my list.
Where's that?
Head House Books. It's a locally owned, independent bookstore. I've been going there for years. Richard and his staff do a great job of curating a varied selection, so browsing their shelves is more like a journey of discovery. They have cookbooks for my grandmom, science fiction for Lee, a book on better business management for my dad.
That's a great idea. I love the idea of getting books for people. It's so personal, and it's important to shop locally. We need to support our neighborhood businesses. But what can I get for Maze? He's not exactly a reader.
Well, they have a terrific selection of gifts, too, not to mention some great art books. You know, mostly pictures.
I also need to get something for my nephew. I bet they don't have anything for him. He's too little
Culture Bee.
Actually, they have one of the best kid selections in the city, with age-appropriate books, toys, and games for kids from 1 to 92.
But where is this magical store?
Located on 2nd Street, just south of South Street, and right in the middle of the historic Philadelphia communities of Society Hill and Queen Village. In fact, it's just right across the street.
Head House Books was founded on the belief that no community is complete without the inspiration and exchange of ideas that only a locally owned independent bookstore can provide. Stop in today and discover yourself. And remember, you are what you read. This portion of our program is also brought to you by the City Tavern.
And now let's go back in time to Philadelphia, 1776, a meeting of our forefathers as they struggled to create a nation.
Jefferson, I am tired of framing this nation's future. I haven't had a good idea since the lightning bolt.
I know, Ben. I am absolutely blocked. What do you think of this? We, the folks of America, are tired of being treated like duty.
I think we better take a break and start over.
Indeed, John Adams. Frankly speaking, you know what I say.
Early to bed, early to rise?
No, not that one.
A penny saved is, oh no, I know, the one about beer and God loving us.
No, not that one either, but close. Keep your mouth wet and your feet dry.
Let's go to get something to eat. Surely that will liven our addled minds.
Capital idea, Adams. I know I could use a tankard of ale or 7, and I know just the place.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
City Tavern!
That's right. Since 1773, Philadelphia's historic City Tavern has been serving patriots delicious meals and libations, whether you are planning a revolution against tyranny or just planning a great holiday party for friends.
Now celebrating over 2 centuries of serving Philadelphia's finest colonial cuisine under the expert direction of award-winning chef Walter Stave. City Tavern is a unique dining experience that every patriot should enjoy.
Located on 2nd and Walnut Streets in Old City, City Tavern is committed to providing each guest with an authentic historical dining experience, including fresh farm-to-table cuisine.
For reservations for an intimate evening or festive celebration, call 215-413-1443 today or on the internet at citytavern.com.
What's the internet?
Oh, it's just something else I invented. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandkids will love it.
City Tavern, Philadelphia, a triumph of tradition.
Now, if Clarence has had enough time to get dressed and ready to join us here on Earth, then we'll pick up our story on Christmas Eve. Now, Clarence, I don't have to remind you how important this assignment is.
No, sir, I'm ready.
Good. Now, Clarence, we're going to look in on George this very morning, Christmas Eve. See? Here he is at about 10 a.m. Bedford Falls time at the Building and Loan. Hey, everybody, look at this headline. President decorates Harry Bailey, local boy saves hundreds of lives, wins Congressional Medal of Honor.
George!
He shot down 2 planes just before they could crash into a transport full of soldiers.
George, Harry's on the phone, long distance from Washington.
He is? Hello? Harry? Oh, you old 7 kinds of son of a gun, congratulations! Hey, how's Mother standing in? Oh, are they? The Navy's gonna fly Mother home this afternoon.
In a plane?
What? Uncle Billy? No, he's still at the bank.
George, the bank examiner's here again.
Oh, talk to Tilly a minute, will you, Harry? Somebody official looking is headed this way. Good morning, sir.
Madam.
Mrs.
Carter, bank examiner.
Mrs. Carter. What a surprise. Merry Christmas.
I trust you had a good year.
Good year? Well, between you and me, Mrs. Carter, we're broke.
Huh. Very funny.
Well,
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to finish quickly. I want to spend Christmas with my family.
Of course, just step right in here. Ask Uncle Billy to come on in as soon as he gets back, all right? I wonder what's taking him so long.
All right, now let's see. The date is December 24th. And I've got all $8,000 in this envelope ready to deposit. And, oh, look what the cat just dragged in. Oh, good morning, Mr. Potter. What's that in your newspaper there? Let me see.
What do you think you're doing with my newspaper, Bailey?
Oh, General, look at that. Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal. Oh, you just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you, Mr. Potter?
Give me my paper back, sir.
Oh, yes, Potter, a medal for Harry. And the president would have 2 for George, if only they gave medals for fighting heels like you back home. No, here's your paper back. I'll let you read the whole article on your own. Oh, good morning, Henrietta. Here's a bank book.
I guess you forgot something.
What?
Well, aren't you going to make a deposit?
Well, sure I am.
Well, then, it's customary to bring the money with you.
Oh, I didn't give it to you, did I? Well, let's see. I know I had. Well, where did? Oh no! Oh no! Where is it? Where's the $8,000?
Those Baileys. Why, I could wring that Billy's neck and just snap the paper right out of my hand. What's this? Why, that oaf left this envelope full of. Why, there must be close to $10,000 in here. Well, this could be very interesting.
Just make yourself at home, Mrs. Carter. I'll get those record books for you. Oh, hello, Vi. I didn't see you come in. What can I do for you?
George, I'm leaving.
What? Trip?
I'm leaving for good. I'm going to New York to start over again.
Violet, I'm surprised.
I just wanted somebody to know, and, well, you're the closest thing to a friend I've got.
Well, look, you need anything. A character reference, you telephone me. And here, take a little something to start out with.
Oh, no, George, don't.
No, here now. You're broke now, aren't you?
I know, but...
What do you want to do, hawk your furs in that hat? You know, they charge for meals and rent up there just the same as they do in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business. Building and loan. Good luck to you.
I'm glad to know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Yeah, I sure will.
Merry Christmas, Vi.
Merry Christmas, George.
Mr. Bailey.
Oh, Mrs. Carter, I'm sorry. I'll be right with you. Is Uncle Billy back yet?
He just got here. He's in his office.
Uncle Billy? You in here?
George! Oh, I'm no good. I'm no good.
You've turned this office inside out. What's the matter?
George, you better come in and close the door.
Mr. Bailey, you better not close that door. Now, just what does he think he's doing? I have to finish up here soon, and he's locked me out of the office.
I'm sure there'll only be a second, Mrs. Carter.
Jilly?
Yeah?
Come in here a minute. Did you see Uncle Billy with any cash at home last night?
Sure, he had it on his desk counting it.
All right, that does it. Come on, Uncle Billy, hurry!
Mr. Bailey, where are you two going? Mr. Bailey!
That's twice we've gone through every room in the house. I told you it wasn't here.
Now look, we've got to find that money. We've got to. Did you buy anything?
Not even a stick of gum.
Did you go anywhere else since you left?
No. No.
Well, are you sure you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe? $8,000, Uncle Billy. I don't want any maybe.
I'm no good to you, George.
No, listen to me. Think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Where's the money, you stupid, silly old fool? Where's the money? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail. Well, it's not going to be me. I never wanted anything to do with this lousy business in the first place. You try and explain it to the bank examiner. I've got to... Mary. I've got to go tell Mary.
Hello, darling. Welcome home.
Daddy, Daddy, hello,
Daddy! Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Well, where's your coat and hat?
Oh, I must have left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? Your mother's so excited. She almost...
Must she keep playing that piano?
I have to practice for the party tonight, Daddy.
Better hurry and shave. The families will be here soon.
Family? I don't want any families over here.
Have a hectic day?
Yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped.
All right, darling, you're excused. Now go upstairs and see what little Zuzu wants.
What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she caught a cold coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
Is she running a temperature?
Just a teensy one. The doctor says it's nothing serious.
Is the doctor here?
Yes, but he says it's nothing to worry
Gosh,
about.
it's this old house. I don't know why we all don't have pneumonia. This drafty old barn. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
I'm going up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
No, wait now. Don't get up.
Want to give my flower a drink?
All right, here. Give Daddy the flower. I'll put her in this glass of water.
Look, Daddy, some petals came off. Taste it.
Taste it? I can't. Oh, well. Here. Close your eyes. I'll just take these petals and open. There it is, good as new. Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try and get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but you just go to sleep, and then you can dream about it, and it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh. Shh. Now.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. Yes, the doctor says that she ought to be out of bed in time for her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch? This is Zuzu's father. What do you mean sending her home like that, half naked? She'll probably end up with pneumonia.
George!
Is this what we pay taxes for? To have stupid, careless teachers who send our kids home without any clothes on? Sure, maybe my kids don't have any decent clothes.
George, give me that telephone.
Oh, that's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? She's hung up.
No, somebody's still here. Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mrs. Welch. Okay, Mr. Welch, that is. That's fine. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George!
Will you get out and let me handle this? What? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welch. Anytime you think you're man enough. Hello? Oh.
Dad, how do you spell hallelujah?
How should I know? What do you think I am, a dictionary?
George!
Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You played it over and over and over again. Now stop it. I said stop it, you little...
George, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology, too. I'm sorry. What do you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
No, what's the matter with everybody? Janie, come on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy. George, why must you torture the children? What are...
Mary. Oh, Mary, I'm sorry.
George, where are you going? George! Hello, Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Shall I pray for him?
Yes, Janie, pray very hard.
Me too.
You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy.
Please, help me, Mr. Potter. Can't you see what it means to my family? I'll pay you any sort of bonus on the loan, any interest.
George, this is quite a tale. An accident, you say? And could it possibly be there's a slight discrepancy in your books?
No, sir, there's nothing wrong with the books. I've just misplaced $8,000.
You misplaced $8,000?
Yes, sir.
Well, have you notified the police?
No, sir, I don't want the publicity. Harry's homecoming tomorrow.
They're gonna believe that one. Well, what kind of security would I have? Have you got any stocks?
No, sir, I haven't.
Bonds? Real estate? Any collateral of any kind?
I brought over this life insurance policy here, a $15,000 policy.
Well, yes. But how much is your equity in it?
$500.
Yeah, I called your father a dreamer once, but this, and look at you. A miserable little clerk just crawling in here on your hands and knees, begging for help with nothing to offer but this worthless little life insurance policy. You're actually worth more dead than you are alive.
Now, who you calling, Mr. Potter?
As a shareholder in the building and loan, I'm going to swear a warrant for your arrest for misappropriation of funds and manipulation and malfeasance.
No!
Where are you going, George? You can't hide in a little town like this.
Welcome to my deed. I'll be with you in just a minute. Hey, Nick, go see if George is okay. God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, I'm at the end of my rope. Just show me the way, God.
You all right, George? You want someone to take you home?
Why you drink so much, my friend? Please go home, Mr. Bailey. It's Christmas Eve. I'm all right.
Bailey? George Bailey? Why, you? Oh! And if you ever bawl out my wife again, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she's slaves teaching your stupid kids how to...
You get out of here, Mr. Wells!
No, I'm going.
You hit my best friend. Get out!
You all right, George?
Who was that?
That was Mr. Welch. Don't worry, he's gone.
Oh, Welch. That's what I get for praying. Hey, he don't come in my place no more. You hear that, Nick?
You bet, boss. Hey, George, you dropped something.
My life insurance policy.
Hey, what's that for?
Here it is. Well, I'll see ya. Oh, no, please don't go out this way, Mr. Bailey. You don't feel so good. Please, George, you're in no condition for to drive. Well, how about that? Hit a tree and I'm still alive.
Hey, mister, what do you think you're doing in my yard? My great-grandfather planted this tree. Hey, come back here, you drunken fool. Get this car out of here.
Hey, look where you're going. There's no foot traffic allowed on the bridge. Get out of the road.
Well, Clarence, why are you still here?
What?
This is your moment.
But Joseph, I don't know what to do.
Hurry, Clarence, he's on the bridge. He's ready to jump. Go!
Oh no! George, here I come! Help! Help! Help me!
Where'd he come from? Help! Help! Can anybody hear me? There's somebody in the river!
Help, please!
I'm coming for you!
Oh, that's much better. Certainly glad this guard tower was nearby. Nice warm fire. Clothes drying out. Oh, and Tom Sawyer's drying out too. Lovely.
Say, how'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. To save you.
You what? To save me?
Well, you didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
Suicide? Why, I didn't... It's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Oh, it's against the law where I come from too.
Yeah, and where do you come from?
Heaven. I had to act quickly. That's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, you'd try and save me. And you see, you did. And that's how I saved you.
Very funny.
Your lips bleeding, George.
Yeah. Got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer.
No, George, I'm the answer to your prayer.
How do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
Who are you?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
What's that? AS2?
Angel, second class.
Oh, brother. I wonder what Martini put in those drinks.
Ridiculous to think of killing yourself for money of just $8,000.
Now, how'd you know that?
I'm your guardian angel.
Well, you look about like the kind of angel I get. What happened to your wings?
I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
I don't know whether I like it very much being seen around with an angel without any wings.
Oh, I've got to earn them. And you'll help me, won't you?
Sure. How?
By letting me help you.
Only one way you can help me. You don't happen to have $8,000 on you?
Oh, no. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, well, comes in pretty handy down here, Bob.
Oh.
I found it out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
Now, look, you mustn't talk like that. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody'd been a lot better off. Look, little fella, go off and hunt somebody else, will you?
This isn't going to be so easy. So you still think killing yourself would make everyone feel happy, huh?
Oh, I don't know. Suppose it would have been better if I'd never been born at all.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, you mustn't. Well, no. But wait a minute. Now that's an idea. Oh, wonderful. Now, congratulations. You've got your wish, George.
What did you say?
You've never been born. You don't exist. You haven't a care in the world.
No, say something else in that ear.
Sure. You can hear out of it.
Well, that's the darndest thing. I haven't heard anything out of that ear since I was a kid.
Your lips stop bleeding too, George.
What do you know about that? What's happened? Come on, as soon as these clothes are dry...
Our clothes are dry.
Huh. Stove's hotter than I thought. No, come on, get your clothes on and we'll stroll to my car and get... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stroll, you fly.
I can't fly. I haven't got my wings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, come on. What? Where's my car?
You have no car.
Well, I had a car and it was right here by this tree.
Hey, fella, no trespassing.
Oh, say, hey, where's my car?
Your what?
My car. I'm the fellow that owns the car that ran into your tree.
Not this tree. One of the oldest trees in Pottersville.
Pottersville? You mean Bedford Falls?
I mean Pottersville. Don't you think you know where I live? You get out of here. I'm calling the cops.
Well, maybe I left the car up at Martini's. Come on, Gabriel.
Clarence!
Oh, Clarence, right. It'll be good to get a drink anyway. Right up this way.
This place looks kind of rough, George.
No, go on in. Martini's a good friend of mine. Here's a place to sit down. Hello, Nick. Hey, where's Martini?
You want a martini?
No, Mr. Martini, your boss. Where is he?
Yeah, look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Hey, all right. Double bourbon, quick, huh?
Okay, what's yours?
Oh, I haven't. It's been so long since I. Oh, I know. Mulled wine. Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves, and be quick about it, my man.
Hey, look, mister, we serve hard drinks here for men who want to get drunk fast. And we don't need any characters around to give the joint atmosphere. Is that clear?
Nick, just give him the same as mine. He's okay.
Okay.
Never saw Nick act like that before.
Oh, look, somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell ring, it means that some angel's just got his wings.
Look, little fella, people are already starting to stare. I think maybe you better not mention getting your wings around here.
Why? Don't they believe in angels?
Yeah, but...
Well, then why should they be so surprised when they see one?
All right, I've heard enough. Out you two pixies go. Out through the door, out the window.
Look, Nick, what's wrong?
Now, where do you come off calling me Nick? I don't know you from Adam. Hey, you, Rummy, what do you think you're doing here?
Mr. Gower?
Didn't I tell you never to come panhandling around here? What are you, looking for a bloody face?
Stop it, Nick! Mr. Gower, are you all right? Nick, what's the matter with it? Mr. Gower, it's George Bailey. Don't you know me?
No. Get on out of here, you drunk.
Hey, what? Hey, Nick, wasn't that Mr. Gower?
What's it to you? That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning a kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. You gents found a way in. I'm sure you can find a way out.
Okay. Hey, take it easy. It's not so rough.
Hey, get me! I'm giving out wings!
What's... Look at the sign over at the door. Nick's? What's going on here? Why, this ought to be Martini's place. Mr. Gower.
You see, George? You were not there to stop Mr. Gower from putting that poison in.
What do you mean I wasn't there? Why am I seeing all these strange things?
Because you were never born.
Well, if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name's George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. Oh, there's no use searching your pockets. You have no driver's license, no insurance policy, and you won't find those pedals there either.
What?
Zuzu's pedals. The ones you secretly dropped in your pocket when she asked you to fix her flower.
How do you know about it?
You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
This is just some sort of a funny dream. That's what I think. So long, mister. I'm going home.
Home? What home?
No, cut it out. You're crazy. And you're driving me crazy, too. I'm seeing things. Now, I'm going home to my wife and family, and I'm going home alone. Hey, officer, what's the matter here?
Keep it moving, bud.
But this is my building and loan.
You crazy? They went out of business ages ago. Been burlesque here for years.
Hey, give this girl a break, officer.
Hey, Violet. Now, where are you taking that girl? That's Violet Bick.
I know.
I know that girl. Violet, it's George. What's the matter with everybody?
Got my bail, mister.
All right, girls. Everybody in the wagon move.
Hey, taxi, Ernie, take me home. I'm off my nut.
Where do you live?
Oh, no, doggone it, Ernie, don't you start pulling that stuff. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore now. Now, hurry up.
Okay, 320 Sycamore.
Yeah, hurry up. Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Look, Ernie. Look, Ernie, straighten me out here. I've got some bad liquor or something. Listen, now. Now, you are Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kids. That's right, isn't it?
You seen my wife?
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Potter's Field, and my wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid. And I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is this the place?
Oh, of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for 20 years.
Mary? Mary? Tommy? Pete? Katie? Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Clarence, what are you doing here? What have you done with my family?
Yeah, all right, put out your hands. There, all right, come out here, fella.
Bert, thank heaven you're here. What's happened to this house? Where's my kids?
Watch him, Bert, he's back.
What's the matter with you two guys? You were here on my wedding night. You sang to us, don't you remember?
Look, now, why don't you be a good kid and we'll take you over into a doctor.
Bert, now listen to me. Listen, it's that fella there.
Oh?
I don't see anybody.
He says he's an angel. He's tried to hypnotize me or something.
I hate to pistol whip a nice fellow like you, but...
Run, George! Your guardian angel will hold them back.
Who said that? Ow! Ow! Somebody bit me!
Mother? It's George.
Read the sign, George.
Ma Bailey's boarding house?
Well?
Mother?
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, this is George. I thought sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Mother, please help me. Something's terrible's happened to me. Just keep me here until I get over it.
Get over what? I don't take in strangers unless they're sent here by somebody I know.
Well, I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy?
You know him?
Well, sure I do.
When did you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
I don't understand. What's happening to me?
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. And when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
I've heard of things like this. You got me in some kind of a spell or something. Well, I'm going to get out of it, and I know how, too. The last man I talked to before all this stuff started happening to me was Martini.
You know where he lives?
Sure, he lives in Bailey Park.
Well, then let's go to Bailey Park. Well, George, I see an empty field and a cemetery. Are you sure this is Bailey Park?
Oh, I'm not sure of anything anymore. This should be Bailey Park, but where are the houses?
You weren't there to build them.
I wasn't.
No, look, George, there's a headstone you haven't seen before.
In memory of our beloved son, Harry Bailey? Oh, Harry.
You see, your brother broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence?
Yes, George.
Where's Mary?
Oh, well, I can't.
I don't know how you know these things, but tell me, where is she?
No, dear, you're not going to like it.
Where is she?
No, she's an old maid. She never married.
Where's my wife?
No, she's just about to close up at the library. There must be some easy way for me to get my wings.
Mary? Mary, it's George.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't believe I know you. Good night.
No, Mary, please. Oh, don't you do this to me, please. Mary, help me. Where's our kids?
What? Let me go.
I need you, Mary. Help me. Don't go, please, Mary.
Help! Help somebody!
Mary, please!
Hey, fella, there you are.
Help, officer!
Yeah, get your hands off her.
But I'm not some... I'm George Bailey, that's my wife!
No, she's fainted. All right, pal, you're asking for it.
Okay, get out of my way!
Yeah, hey, you, get back here.
Clarence! Where are you? Help me, Clarence, get me back! Get me back! No, I don't care what happens to me, only get me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarence, please! Please! I want to live again. I want to live again. I want to live again. Please, God. Let me live again.
Hey, George. George, you all right?
You get out of here, Bert, or I'll hit you again.
Yeah, what the Sam Hill you yelling for, George?
George! George? Bert, you know me?
Are you kidding? I saw your car piled into that tree down there, and I thought maybe... well, hey, your mouth's bleeding.
What? My mouth's bleeding, Bert. My mouth's bleeding. Susan's pedals. Susan's pedals. They're here, Bert. Now, what do you know about that, huh? Merry Christmas!
Hey, you all right, George? Hey, where are you running off to?
Mary! Mary! Oh, look at that sign. You are now in Bedford Falls. I'm in Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan. Hey, there's a light on in Mr. Potter's office. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter!
And a Happy New Year to you in jail. And go on home, they're waiting for you.
Waiting for me? Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, Merry Christmas! Mary, I'm home. Oh, well, hello, Mrs. Carter. I heard you were waiting for me.
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000. Hey, I'm going to jail. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, hey, the sheriff's here too. What do you know?
George, I got a little paper right here.
Well, I'll bet that's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it great? Hey, Merry Christmas. Oh, hey, look, the whole newspaper gang must be here. Hello, reporters. Do you know where Mary is? Mary! Oh, look at this wonderful, drafty old house. Kids! Pete, Janie, Tommy, oh, I could eat you up.
Daddy!
Suzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine, and not a smidge of temperature.
Not a smidge of Hallelujah!
George, darling, where have you been? Oh, George.
Mary, let me touch you. Oh, you're real.
Oh, George.
Oh, you have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what's happened here. Oh, hurry now, they're on their way.
Oh, all right.
Now you stand right over here by the tree. Oh, I hear them now, George, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. Oh, come in, Uncle Billy. Everybody in here, just put the basket on the table right here.
Mary, I think we might need a new basket. This one's got so much money in it, it's overflowing.
Money? What's going on?
Oh, isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. She told a few people that you were in trouble and they scattered all over town collecting money. They didn't even ask questions. They just said, if George Bailey's in trouble, count on me.
All right, don't shove now, folks. The line forms on the right. Mr. Martini, Merry Christmas. Step right up here.
I busted the jukebox, too.
Mr. Gower, this way.
I made a few rounds on my charge account.
Who's next, Violet?
I'm not going to go to New York, George. I changed my mind.
Thanks, Vi.
I've been saving this money for a divorce, if I ever get a husband.
Wouldn't have the roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George. None of us would. Merry Christmas.
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody, quiet. Now, this here telegram just came in from London. Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled.
Hello, George. How are you?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Harry! And Mother! Oh, is it good to see you? Look at all this money. I guess I got here too late.
Aren't you supposed to be at your banquet in New York?
Oh, I left it right in the middle of it when I got your telegram. Here, here! A toast! To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?
Oh, wait a minute now. Has somebody left a book here? Look, it's Tom Sawyer.
What's the inscription say?
Dear George, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What's that?
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
You jumping in for Mrs. Hatch, that was amazing!
Come on.
Maze, I had no idea you had such musical talent.
Well, you know, I'm full of surprises.
Well, after a night like this, I'm not just gonna go back to my room. Let's go and celebrate, you know? Kidding.
Oh, Maze, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, Dad. The whole audience knows. I mean, everybody knows, and I don't care if the whole world knows. Well, we're gonna go celebrate, so you guys want to come with? I mean, after a little while, you know.
Why should we really
Lock up.
Huh. Uh-huh. They should lock up. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys go and lock up.
Well, Mr. Wright, Lee, thank you. Thank you so much for tonight. My father is going to be so proud.
Well, Miss Reed, Evelyn, you were pretty incredible yourself.
Oh. Well, I just wanted to say thank you.
So, what happens now?
Wow. Make a wish.
Wish I had $1 million.
Good night, Mr. Bailey.
hot dog.